In this video tutorial, we are going to discuss what are square roots. We have three numbers here. A is equal to 36. A is a variable. Similarly, B and C are two different variables. So B is equal to 81 and C is equal to 10,000. Now, we know that this 36 can be written as A equal to 36 can be written as 6 square. That is 6 times 6. This we know. Now, A can also be written as A is equal to minus 6 whole square. That is minus 6 times minus 6. We know this much. So, similarly here, B can be written as 9 squared. 81 is what? 9 squared. This 9 squared can be written as 9 times 9. Okay. Same way, B is equal to, this can be minus 9 squared, that is minus 9 times minus 9 will give you 81 only. Same thing here, C is equal to, this is 10,000, it means that 100 squared, and therefore this is 100 times 100, 100 multiplied by 100, and C can also be written as C is equal to minus 100 squared, this is 10,000, and therefore minus 100 times minus 100. Minus 100 multiplied by minus 100. Now, since A can be written as 6 multiplied by 6, therefore, square root, or let's write here, square root of A is 6 and minus 6, because 6 multiplied by 6 here we have this in pair, and minus 6 multiplied by minus 6 is also in pair. Therefore, square root of A in this case, actually square root of A is square root of 36 is A, or 36 is the same thing, is 6 and minus 6. Same way, in the same way here, square root of B, or we can say 81, is 9 and minus 9, right? And here also square root of C, square root of C, or C is what? Actually 10,000. 10,000 is 100 and minus 100. So in this case we have two square roots, 6 and minus 6, 9 and minus 9, and same way 100 and minus 100. That is, if a number is a perfect square, let's say if your number is of the form x is equal to y squared, then the square root of x, square root of x or y square, x is equal to y square, it means the square root of x or y square is plus y and minus y. And we can also write it as plus, and below this plus minus sign, and then y. You can write it in this way also, plus minus y. Square root of x or y square is plus minus y. Okay, so let's move to the next discussion on, related to square roots only. Radical sign or symbol and principal square root. Okay, so if you can see here, if we take in this example, like let's choose this one, A is equal to 36. So if we take A is equal to 36 then if someone asks you that what is a square root of a, then you will say that square root of a. This is the radical sign or symbol. This sign is the radical sign or symbol. Remember this. So if we put this radical sign or symbol here, it means the square root of a, and this is equal to square root of what? 36, because a is equal to 36. So square root of a is equal to square root of 36, and square root of 36 is what? This is actually 6 times 6, because this is 6 squared. So this can be written like this, since we have 6 in pair. Therefore, square root of 36 is equal to 6 here. Now, you will say that here we have written that it is actually plus minus y, that is plus minus 6. In this case, plus minus 9. In this case, plus minus 100. Then why here you are only taking 6 one only and not minus 6? That's a really good point. And the point is that the explanation is that whenever you are using this radical sign or symbol, you are only talking about the positive square root. At that time, you don't consider the negative square root. So you are talking about positive square root when we use this radical sign or symbol. So next question will be then, what is principal square root? Principal square root is this only, that is this positive square root of any number of a perfect square is the principal square root. So whatever calculation we have done here is actually the calculation of principal square root. Okay, so principal square root or the square root of a is actually what here? 6. So we'll ask that then how will we show this minus 6? So when you have to show this minus 6 or the minus negative square root, when you have to write the negative square root, then simply put this minus sign before this radical sign and symbol. Write a here. It means that you are now talking about this negative square root. So here you get minus 6. Okay, so this one is important, that principal square root. If you simply put this radical sign and symbol without any negative sign, it means that you are talking about positive square root or the principal square root. Okay, now let's move to the next discussion. Square root of an even number is even and square root of an odd number is odd, and that makes sense. How? We know that the perfect square or the square of an even number is always even. We have discussed this when we were discussing properties of square numbers. So if we take 1, then what's the square of 1? The square of 1 is actually what? 1. 1 is an odd number. Its square is what? An odd number. So from odd, you're getting odd. Let's take 2. 2 is an even number. You take square of this, you find square of this, you get 4. So from even number, if you take the square, you are getting even number. Let's take 5. 5 is an odd number. You find the square of it, you get 25. Again, from odd to odd. And let's take another one. 10, an even number. Square of it gives you 100, and even number. So if you look at this one, that if you try to find out the square root of this one, we are talking about the principal square root, remember. So if you take the square root of this one, you'll get what? The square root of 1. And what is square root of 1? Square root of 1 is actually what? 1 times 1 only. So you'll get 1, right? Same thing here. So 1 is what? 1 is an odd number. So square root of an odd number is odd. If you take square root of 2 square, that is square root of 4, it means that Square root of 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 means what? The square root will be 2. So square root of an even number is even. Square root of 5 squared, that is square root of 25. So square root of 25 means what? 5 times 5. So you get 5. So if you take the square root of an odd number, you get an odd number. Last one, this is square root of 10 squared, that is square root of 100. Square root of 100 is what? Square root of 10 multiplied by 10. So you get 10, right? So if you take square root of an even number, you get an even number.